And tonight on our Great American panel, he's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, Fox News contributor, USA Today. What? Why are you starting?
Nothing.
I could see you got some. All right, we'll get to you in a minute. She was a senior policy advisor for McCain's presidential campaign and is president of Media Speak Strategies. Nancy Pfotenhauer is back with us. He is a singer, legendary entertainer, founder of Pat Boone, All-American Meats, which he just brought some for me and Beckel.
Yeah.
He didn't bring you any?
I saw that. I'm going to get my share.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's start with Americans don't want less spending. That's the New York Times' Paul Krugman's view. You saw this budget, the president. What?
I didn't say it.
You're sitting there with the grin on your face like you want to start trouble. If you want to start trouble tonight, Beckel, I have got bronchitis and I've got a sinus infection. So go ahead, start in.
I mean, you should calm down here. I don't know what it is about you conservatives. You're supposed to be on the upswing. I don't. Look, Krugman made a good point in that article, which is that people talk about spending cuts all the time, except when you ask people which cuts they want, nobody wants cuts and things that they care about. And one of the problems with the Republicans and all this talk about cutting $100 billion, they're taking out of 15% of the budget. And it's not realistic. And they don't have the guts, nor do the Democrats have the guts to deal with the real issue, which is whether you
So the president was a wimp on this budget today.
He was
totally
a wimp. He was a wimp on the budget today. I mean, he really, really, really oversold and underperformed. Never a good thing. But I will agree with Bob on one thing, and that is that we cannot get where we need to go by just squeezing out non-defense discretionary here. If we're not willing to go after the entire budget, needs to be on the table. And there are a lot of folks who can lose credibility over
Is he setting up Republicans by not going after the real spending, where real spending is, and not dealing with entitlements? Is he setting them up to be the bad guy that want old people to die and eat dog food?
Yeah, and he's talking like a real family guy now, wanting to take care of the poor person that maybe can't afford fuel or something like that. But then he talks about $400 million he's going to save, which is $40 million a year, by freezing the discretionary
After he
spending.
raised it 24%.
It's higher than it's ever been. And to me, it's like that car, I don't know if I should say the name of it, but had all the trouble where the accelerator's stuck. You just freeze it, and it's going as fast as it'll go, and it goes right over the cliff, and he says somehow it's going to fly. It's not going to fly, except straight down.
Yeah, no, it's going to crash.
It's not going to fly. Anyone in the Republicans' budget cuts are going to fly either, because nobody is dealing with the real serious cuts. The Republicans talk about $100 billion. Frankly, that is minuscule, less than 1/2 of what our problem is here.
Why won't he even listen to his own deficit commission?
Yeah, no, when you've got his own
He's not going to lead with Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. He's going to have to let the Republicans take that step with him.
Wait a minute. He's the president. What does that say about him? He doesn't have moral courage. He doesn't have principles, convictions. He really doesn't want. He wants to pass the buck to future generations.
He knows that the Republicans are going to jump all over him if he did that, and it's a negotiating position.
I don't
it's a
think that's
negotiating
true.
document. It always has.
Well,
it's
a horrible first card to play in this environment, and this is where Krugman is. It's not my funny Valentine. It's my you're smoking something Valentine, because the American people 2-to-1 have said they believe cutting spending will help the economy. This is something I've never seen in my career. You had a tremendous debate last year over whether stimulus spending was going to help or hurt the economy. The American people said no.